Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today we are once again back on the Stitches Challenger, and we are going to start test fitting and trimming everything we need to fit the trunk floor in this car. To recap, we have hand fabricated everything on this car up to this point. All the floor pans, the frame rails, everything has all been hand fabricated out of 18 and 20 gauge sheet metal. The trunk floor was donated to the channel by a channel viewer, and so we're using a Sherman Industries trunk floor. Not the greatest piece in the world, but more than adequate for a car like this. So Bird's Do-It-Yourself Garage, once again, thank you for the donation. And we just want to get this thing put in the car. So I think we're going to start on this side because this is the more complicated side. A lot more to trim and cut and so forth. So let's get that over here. First of all, it was a one-piece trunk floor. We split it down the middle, and we're doing it. We didn't split it down the middle. We split it actually a little bit offset, but we're doing one side at a time. Oh yeah, I'm Mike, and you're watching My Car Shop. Okay, let's see if we can die to death here with this. So here's the half, or the more like 2/3. There, all done. Okay, it's what I wanted to see. I'm wondering, yeah, we can't. I was wondering how much of this we could do as a cut and butt. Not all of it, some of it. I think we're back here. We're going to trim the piece off, not this part. We're going to leave this alone. But underneath, we're going to do like we did over here and just trim it off to kind of the rear bumper fascia piece that's in there, if that's what it's called. Up there, we can do a lot of cut and butt, but we can't do complete cut and butt because we have this other gas tank mount in here. We're pretty good over here. So overall, we look pretty good in our overalls. I think I'm going to get my orange paint, and so they'll know exactly where the original line is, and then that will help me determine where I'm going to cut stuff, because we got to cut stuff. I don't think there's any concern back here, but at least that's going to help me know where the actual edge of this is versus where we're going to trim and cut and all of that. Yep, that should work. All right, let's pull it out of here now. Perfect. Yep, very perfect. It's so perfect. We couldn't even be more perfecter if we were perfect. I guess I could have marked the strap piece here so I would know where to drill my plug weld holes, but we're not quite ready for that yet anyway, so we'll do it on the next round. So I think I need to get my cut-off wheel. So we can do cut and butt all the way over to, from here to here, but we're going to have to trim out around here a little bit, and then we're going to have to trim out around here a little bit. So let's get this stuff trimmed out close to the line, and then we can cut this up here. Yeah, this is making some sense to me, so I'll be back. Just like Arnold. Just so you can see our orange lines there, so you know where we're at. So yeah, we're gonna not bother cutting. We'll cut and butt this in here. We're not gonna bother, but we'll cut that up around that trunk support, gas tank support on both sides. Get that cleaned up. Make that more of a butt weld just in that spot, and we can cut and butt the rest of it, no problem. Over in here, I think I'm just going to overlap it. That's going to be the best choice there, just on that edge. So we really don't have a whole lot there that's going to be a problem. But then we got to trim back here. But back here, again, as I mentioned, we're going to just trim it off. I'll show you in a minute. So all we got to do now is peel up here, peel up over there. Got this trimmed over here. We should be in pretty good shape on that side, so then we'll have to work on this next. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is trim all of this stuff out of here. So I need to look at that. Okay, yeah, we need to leave a little of this, but most of that can come out. And then we need to come down here and trim this out. So it won't take too long to get that done, but it's got to be done. So I'm just going to leave it be double layered in here on top of this box that the rear of the car sits on. I think that is the easiest way to do this. So I'm going to take my cutoff wheel and just come along this edge here and just trim that off like that. We'll get that piece out of the way, then we'll work on that. Let's see how close we are. I think we're pretty good shape. Yep, we're in good shape. Real good shape. Yep. Can't quite get that down enough in there. We got a little work to do up there. This is fitting beautifully back here now. It's not quite fitting the trunk extension yet, but that's close. It'll go with a little help. A little crystal blue persuasion. But up there, it's being held up, and I think I know why. So it must have a gun. Stick 'em up. Yep, I see exactly why. I just need to take my cutoff wheel in there and go and make a slice. All right, it's looking great. I got it fitting down in nice down in here now, so that's going to fit real good. Fits decent around the tub. We got a little work to do on the tub anyway. We're almost lining up to the trunk extension here, so I'm happy with that. Needs to pull down a little bit there. Needs to pull down a little bit here. So overall, I think that's good. Let's go around the other side, see what we got. Ugh. Yep, so now I can take my orange paint and go through here and mark up where all of those plug weld spots are. And a lot of this, of course, is going to be gone when we do the cut and butt type stuff here. We may cut and butt this from this. We can't do it from this side. I don't want to do it from this side. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. We may have to pull this up with some screws, or maybe even what we can do is we probably better use screws and push that up in there. Clecos might work, but that's an awful lot of strain. I hate to put that much strain on a Cleco. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, that's on that side. Okay, yeah, that fit down in there good. So yeah, there's some cleanup work to do, but I'm not worried about that. And then, of course, back here it fits nice. I don't mind if there's a little overlap in there. It's fine. It's a trunk. So yeah, we're cooking with gas. So let's get the orange paint and get this marked up where those tracks are so that we know where our plug weld holes will be drilled. And that'll be done with that. I'm not really ready to fit this one in yet, but I'm just curious to, because we haven't trimmed it. Well, I guess we did. The only thing we haven't trimmed is the top of the frame rail. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Yeah, we've got a bunch of tire or tub work to do in there, but yeah, the challenge there is going to be coming down the middle here because it's just a little bit kinked, and our edge, unfortunately, is not going to line up exactly. Well, maybe. It did. It does. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, it didn't fit like that before. So now that we got this side fitting in better, yeah, that's cool. So we got a little bit of a fitment issue right there, but I'd rather have it over there than here. So our slice literally will go right back together again. That is just cool. So let's see what we got to do up there. Let's go over here. Oh, okay. Yep, I see. The edge of this is a fabricated trunk extension, and it doesn't match this exactly. So getting dripped on from somewhere. We'll have to massage that. What I will do is I will exaggerate the bend on this so that it comes past this trunk extension, and then we can squeeze it together and make it fit. So let's do that to make sure it fits down in there. I'm thrilled with the way this fits down here, though. This is awesome. So this is the edge here that we need to bend. So I'm just going to hammer and dolly that in to make myself some room. Nice. Now I'm back about 30 degrees. That should drop right in. Let's find out. So this time, I'm going to drop it in, lining up the center. Sorry, my shoulder's in the way. Yeah, our center's lining up good now. Very good. Yeah, that will now fall down in. Let me go look at the other side, but it's not, you can already tell it wants to press down. So what we may have to do is get this kind of tack welded back into being one piece before we do the rest of our fitment. I'm not sure. Just put a couple tacks in it to hold it. And looks like we did have some Clecos in it right there. So that's good. But yeah, that fits together real nicely. And we can pick that up, fit that down in there. Yes. Very good. Mark did a great job cutting that. And let's see where we're at up there. Okay, so it's a little tight in here yet, causing this to overlap a little bit. So if I pull that up where it belongs to be, that will kind of fit back together again. We can fudge that a couple different ways. I don't really want to cut the trunk extension. I don't really want to cut the trunk floor, but we might be able to buy ourselves a little space by coming in back here with the cutoff wheel and just putting a cutoff wheel's width of thickness right down in here, if you can see that. Yeah, you probably can. But just adding from about here over, widening that gap out in there a little bit. And that should allow us to fit down in. We are really close. So I'm not disappointed with that at all. And of course, I want to get my orange marks laid out so I know where to drill my holes. This will need a little massaging up in here. The biggest thing is going to be right back there. Yeah, I think when I made this edge here on this trunk extension, I had nothing to work with. It was a complete grab a hand. Well, I did. I had the seam part, but I didn't have any of the trunk floor, and I hardly had any of this. So I was just winging it. So I may have made that a little proud. But I don't I don't anticipate it going to be a big problem if I just trim that a little bit and let that, which reminds me that if I do that, this line is going to be off a little bit. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I've got some repair work to do on a few of these things down here, but I'm not worried about that. All that's going to be hidden by the gas tank anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Yeah, we're getting close. I like it. I'm really tickled with the way that's working. It's it almost, that issue there I would say almost might be that the trunk floor is just all over that way a little bit, but I don't think it is because of the way it's lining up there. I could try knocking it a little bit maybe. That might give me just enough. Let me do that real quick. Let's grab a steel block and let's blow our eardrums out here. You know what? That did it. It did move it. Good to know. Now let's get this. Yep, that falls down in there, and it doesn't still quite line up though like I want. Yeah. Oh, it will go now though. Yeah, I think in the interest, I'm going to go ahead and just trim just the slightest amount in there. Because everything else lines up really nice. It really almost does too. I mean, it's just so close. But as I thought about it also more off camera, actually, I know another thing I can do. As I thought about it more off camera though, I got to remember this is a Sherman part, and these things are plus or minus 1/4 inch most of the time. So they're not really designed to totally be replacement parts. A lot of them, they're designed to fit over. So they're just built just a little bigger. Quarter panels are that way by Sherman for sure. They don't intend you to cut everything off. They just intend you to slap it on over the existing. So they always build them just a touch bigger. Trunk floor you would think wouldn't be that way because of the drops, but I don't know. And I could be wrong. But let's pop this back out. I'm gonna bend this edge down just a little bit more and see. We only need like a 1/16 of an inch. So let's see if we can get that out of that by just hammer and dollying this edge. Oh yeah, I can see it's really round and it's not square. So there we go. Let's see how that works. Boom. Out go the lights. Yep, that'll work. And then I don't have to cut anything down here. Perfect. Like it. Not only like it, I love it. Very good. Yep. It's still a little bit tight, but I can also dolly that edge up a little bit in there. But just by doing that, I can pull it right down. So, yep, we'll have a little work. You know, there'll be a little bit of massaging to get it, but it's pretty close. Just doing that alone makes a huge difference. The edge of this wheel well is off a little bit, so cool. But I'm really liking the fact that our seam here now lines up perfectly. So I think the next step is to take this back out and get all of this rust conditioned underneath so that it is ready when we're ready to put that in. The only other thing I missed was I didn't get this trimmed up here. So we got to do that. I got a bunch of crap that needs to be blown out of there. So we'll get that cut out and cleaned up. And then there's a few little things to hammer around and so forth. But I got all the rust done except for the part of the back here that needs to be done. And yeah, looking good, but let's get that cut up. There we go. I like it. Got it all cleaned up there now. It's looking good. All the stuff is rust conditioned, rust painted, rust conditioned. I got to clean up in there yet. I'm going to decide if I'm going to do that today or not. I'm starting to run out of time here, so. Looking good though. Let's go around the other side. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm pleased with that. Yep. As far as the top of the trunk extension, once I take that quarter panel off, we'll get that cleaned up because I don't know what I'm going to have to rebuild there anyway, so that'll be fine. We'll need to get in here with the wire wheel, clean that up a little bit. Looking good. I have to say I'm loving it. It fit right back in there just like a glove. So yeah, we got a little wheel well, you know, that's just got to be pulled over. That ain't a big deal. But our center seam now looks good. We are that close to putting this in. I think that is outstanding. It fell all together better than I expected. Yeah, there's a lot of little detail work to do yet, but we are probably the next session on this car. We will be installing this trunk floor. So we got a whole bunch of plug weld holes to drill and all kind of stuff to do, but it's exciting to see it come to this point. So I'm out of time for today. We'll be back again with another one as soon as we can. Like, share, subscribe. Please, the channel's continuing to grow. I love it. The revenue is coming up a little bit. We do have channel memberships with all kinds of behind-the-scene content. Plus, you get to see a lot of these episodes pretty much the day I publish them instead of, right now, it's about a week and a half to 2 weeks out, but 2, 4, 6, or even 8 weeks out. And I do members videos just specifically for channel members. So go check that out on the homepage here on the channel, and you can see the different tiers and the different levels and benefits. All right. Like, share, subscribe. As I said, we will catch you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, because it is important. Rawr!